Hello, thank you so much for purchasing with Medium Emary. Today we are going to give you a tarot card year ahead spread. This will be focused on what I see coming for you for the new year of 2018. Your name and info will be confidential. So I usually pull out 7 cards, but if I feel drawn to, I will pull out more. In the end of the reading, I always pull out one card here from my favorite deck, which is called Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides. So I'm going to do a quick little prayer and I'm going to clear out the energy with some sage, and from there I'll start shuffling, hun, okay? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth that is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. I ask spirit guides and angels of the person I'm focused on to reveal to them now what they need to know in this present time. I ask spirit guides of mine to help me interpret the information to them in the best of my abilities, and that the information that comes through may come through as accurate, specific, and detailed as possible. Anything of negative vibration, negative energy is not welcomed in this reading, as I ask to receive information from God's purest intention, God's white light. Thank you. So the crystals I'm using here with you today is a rose quartz and clear quartz. So rose quartz is really good for love, acceptance, forgiveness, just working on the heart chakra area, and it's a calming stone. And then I have a clear quartz, which is my favorite quartz to use, especially when it comes down to healing. It just clears out the energy, any gunk, any left residue, anything that's been just being suppressed or being held. I like using it to clear out that energy, and it's a very powerful crystal. So I'm going to start shuffling now. Let me make sure what your name is, your full name is again. Alright. Alright, so I do see here. So I'm going to start with the first cards, but definitely your overall theme for the new year is a form of self-awakening, uh, self-awakening in the sense of change, a different perspective, something of you realizing something, you understanding that this change is for the better, or this change of perspective or this change of realization is for the better. So either something happened where it made you then realize something different about your reality, or something different about um, what you want or don't want in your life. But I do see this new year, which is a card of judgment, focuses on that concept of you now willing to make that change, willing to either make yourself happy now, or that willing of knowing, like a self-realization, something that you found within yourself that you realized, and now has changed your perspective or has changed your outlook on life, and it's making you want to now change things, make yourself a better version of yourself, or it's making you want to live a more happier life in enlightenment with yourself. So that's like kind of the overall theme for the new year, and I think that's very powerful because that means you're kind of reflecting a lot, and you're realizing everything you went through, and you're now like wanting to change that, or you're wanting to work on yourself. Either it's a soul development level, or it's an actual reality level of change. Okay, but it's definitely gonna be your theme for the new year of 2018. This change of perspective, this self awakening, this spiritual awakening, or this even self realization within yourself. So as I see here, I do see within 2016 and like this whole year that's ending now, there's been a lot of trials, a lot of struggles. There is something focusing on love, so love life. Don't know if you're in a relationship or if you're not, but there's something focusing about on like love. Either it's been a struggle, or it's just never worked out, or you feel like you can't find love, or you feel like it's been difficult to attract love or to attract the right person. But there's something focusing on um, uh, issues or blockage with love, either with the person you're with, or the concept of that you don't have anyone right now, and the idea of that love is in delay, and it's hard to attract love. Okay, I am seeing the sense of where your guides want you to realize you can take charge of your life. You can take charge in the decisions you make, the options, the choices that you have. Okay, it seems like right now I don't know if you already made the decision, but I do feel like there was some time where you were either confused, or you had a lot of different options and choices, and you didn't know what to choose, and your intuition was hazy, and it was hard for you to make that decision, or pick the choice of what's the best option for your life, or best option for the moment in time. It seems to me it's saying you either made that decision already, or you already picked your option, but I do still feel that sense of uncertainty at times due to it. But your guides are saying with this, or with any kind of decision making, or any time where you feel like you're stuck and you don't know what option to pick, you take charge, use your common sense, logic, and intuition with this. You need to allow yourself to know that you can take charge of things, and that you have the power to um, um, make these different changes. I am seeing either with work or your career, or with certain people, I feel like there's something where there's either competition or just dealing with other people that cause you anxiety and cause you with worry or stress. But there's just something with I don't know if your work or your job is difficult right now, or it's been very busy, very draining, very tiring, or you've been working a lot, but there's a sense of anxiety and worry and struggling to be consistent with money, to make sure everything's okay, and that there's no losses financially, money wise. And I do see here this Pentacle cards. I think this is the Five of Pentacles, but it focuses on the concept of poverty, or just struggling financially. And I think that keeps you up at night. Like you always want to make sure that you have money and make sure that all is well. And it's like you want to be on things. Your guides are saying you're doing a great job. They want you to pat yourself on the back, be proud of yourself, because you've been a hard worker. You've been pushing yourself to the limit a lot um, in these past couple of years, and they're saying that you need to stay. You need to still continue and know that you need to have hope and faith in that the situation will get better, or that it won't always be like that struggle or that anxiety or that stress. You need to know that you have your guides and your angels that you can call upon and give your concerns and worries to. So please keep this faith and keep this hope. Okay? I don't know exactly where you are confused with which option or choice to pick, but there's something where um it was a struggle to make that decision, and it's a struggle of the concept of consistency and wanting to make sure that everything will be okay and everything is okay. So there's this sense of, I got the Queen of Chalices, which is a very beautiful card because it represents a woman, which is you, that is sensitive, that is open, that is filled with emotions, filled with sensitivity and openness, and a loving, caring individual. And you're just filled with all those emotions, and at times it could be hard to deal with those emotions, but that's what makes you who you are, that person of being um caring and understanding and having an open heart to things. Okay. um they're showing me here as well, there's a sense of being stuck in the past in some sense, where you look back a lot, you look back on your past and you look back on those memories where you used to be happy, the good memories, I mean, the good memories where you used to be happy, and remembering those times you were happy. It's good to look at those memories, but sometimes it's not so good, you guys are saying, because they want you to find that happiness in the now, and they want you to know that you could find happiness like that in many different ways in the present moment. So they want you to not try to be so stuck in the past with when you were happy and when things were good and when things were going well, because that could still manifest again in this present life. So they want you to kind of not be so stuck in the past anymore and try to know that you can manifest that happiness in the now. All right. I am seeing the sense of as well. They want you to take care of yourself. They want you to, when you can, recharge your batteries, take a break. Because I am seeing um, the Four of Swords coming through with the anxiety card. So for me, that represents you. You have to take a break sometimes. You can't overwhelm yourself. You can't overdo yourself. You know, I feel like you've been doing a lot this year that's been passing now, and you got to take it easy. Take one step at a time. Okay, you can't do everything. You can't be Superwoman 24/7. You have to recharge your batteries sometimes and go through a cleansing and be able to regain your energy again. Okay. I don't know, there's something with traveling with you too, so I don't know if you're going to travel soon or you're planning to live somewhere else or move somewhere else, but there's something with traveling that's coming through for you, like something with going away or traveling. So keep that in mind. I see something like that for the new year, or very soon in your near future. So there's something with traveling that I'm picking up, okay? I also picked up here this sense of, you got the Judgment card again. That's crazy. So you got it twice because I'm using two different tarot decks. So there's definitely some form of self-awakening, something changed that you're like, wow, I need to start fixing myself, or I need to start changing things now, you know? I need to start, the change has to begin now, you know? I am seeing, they're saying don't let anything hold you back. If you're wanting to make this change, if you're wanting to achieve what you want to achieve, or if you're wanting to make yourself happy now, don't let your doubt or your low self-esteem hold you back, okay? Everything you've been going through has been a healing process. This has all been part of your expansion. Like, this has all been a part of some form of healing. Your guides are saying that you had to and have been going through, they're telling me, okay? I'm going to pull out one more card here, and then I will pull out a card from the Oracle card deck for you. Oh, here we go. So this was a card that was already pulled out here for you. So I got the Fool, but it's reversed. So for me, it means don't be afraid of new beginnings. Don't be afraid of change. So again, that makes sense with the whole Judgment. So I don't know if something has to happen where a change has to occur, or something has to be reevaluated, or something has to be looked at again. But there's a sense of like, just don't be afraid to make a change. Don't be afraid of new beginnings. You got to let go of the past to be able to now realize that you want bigger and better things for yourself. So that's kind of like the overall theme that they're giving me for the new year. I got Judgment, the new Fool. So it's the concept of something holding you back. And then you got that card where you're stuck in the past a little bit, where either you get stuck in those memories, and then there's that concept as well that they're giving me where money will get better, your rewards will be met, and it's something that's going to take time, but they just don't want you to have anxiety kind of trying to hold yourself together 24/7. It's very exhausting. That's what I'm picking up here. That's why the star came in saying sometimes you have to have faith and have hope, but also give yourself a break. You can't do everything, okay? But you're doing all that you can. That's why your guides are saying be proud of yourself, pat yourself in the back, don't beat yourself up about things, don't be hard on yourself about things, you know? You're doing the best that you can right now in this present time, okay? So I'm going to pull out a card now from the Oracle card deck of Animal Spirit Guides for you, hon. But keep in mind the traveling and something with either, I don't know, moving to a different place, or traveling a lot more this new year, or something with a different place. So keep that in mind. And the love thing that I said, I just see that either it's been hard to attract love, or there's been issues around love, either with someone now or just the concept of it and wanting to attract it. But it can also be emotionally as well. You go through a lot emotionally, and it makes sense because you got the Queen of Cups, which makes you a very sensitive and emotional person. And sometimes you gotta find ways to cope with your emotions instead of letting it just overflow you, okay? And I understand it's because you're doing a lot, so it's hard for you to just contain those emotions. This is so pretty. All right, so you got the Cardinal. This is very pretty. It says the polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. That's so crazy. So I am picking up that emotionally you're out of balance, and you know, you gotta recharge your battery. It seems like, you know, overdoing yourself or whatever it is. So it's interesting that this card came out because it's saying now you gotta find that balance with yourself. So I'm gonna read off the guidebook for you. I really do feel like the new year is more about the self-awakening, like I said, and you realizing like I can't be doing the same thing. I can't be continuing what I'm doing like for the rest of my life. Like, I need to change how I live my life, or I have to change this form of living into being happy. I have to be happier with myself. There's something with that I'm picking up. And you will achieve that. It's definitely in the making. Either you want to work on yourself now, or you're wanting to make those changes, and you're finally willing to make those changes, begin that new beginning, and things like that. So this is what your message says from the Cardinal, hun. It says, When on the spiritual path, it's easy to idolize what being spiritual means. It can become a rigid mental imprint on which you judge anything that varies from your conceptualization of what being spiritual is supposed to be. This includes not only another person's practices and beliefs, but your own. Falling short of this idealism leads to either assuming a righteous and arrogant position with others, or when self-imposed elicits guilt and shame. This spiritual perfectionism can make you reticent about enjoying the pleasures of the material world as well as those of your physical body. The earth herself provides a dazzling and sensational panorama of experiences to be directly encountered through the physical senses. Yet for many, truly enjoying the pleasures of the senses of sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell can be fraught with worry, anxiety, guilt, and shame, products of early childhood religious or cultural conditioning. Others become so entangled in the world of the senses that it becomes their God, and their spiritual core is lost to materiality. To be polarized in one direction or another takes you either to lofty heights and iridescent abstractions that are completely ungrounded, or else causes you to become caught up in the glue of the mundane world without guiding light of spirit to provide a focus of authority. With the blessing of your awareness, you can redirect your thoughts and actions towards that which brings greater balance and fluidity between the two polarities: courtship, singing, balance, responsibility, listening, intuition. So there's definitely this sense of you need to find that balance between spirituality and find that balance between the physical world. And I think it's been very difficult for you because you are very sensitive. And I think that's what the cards are talking about with the Ace of Cups I'm sorry, the Queen of Cups, and then the the whole thing with the self-awakening. You have to find that balance between the material world and then the spiritual world, and finding a way to really be able to be in that stillness of it, and not let one or the other overwhelm you, because I do feel like you're kind of off balance a little bit, and that overwhelming sense is taking over you. So you have to find ways to ground yourself a lot more this new year that I'm picking up. So you walk barefooted outside, use tiger's eye, crystal, meditate, pray, use times when you recharge, like I said, cleanse. You have to do those kind of little practices, because if not, you will literally feel off balance because you're so sensitive. So that's something that needs to be worked on for this new year, as I feel like if it's not, then I feel like it's like you will be constantly in this emotional turmoil or this emotional exhaustion. So know this as a helpful guiding tip. And then what I see coming for your new year is new beginnings, and you willing to to embark on those new beginnings without holding yourself back from the past. You realizing as well you need to recharge your batteries and take breaks sometimes. And then I definitely see that there's this sense of self-awakening, a change, you wanting to make a change, you wanting to really um, make things different. And it's definitely gonna transform you a lot this new year. So I'm gonna leave you with that, hon. I very much hope you enjoyed this little mini reading. It was a pleasure. And I send you lots of love from the heavens above. And thank you so much for reaching out. I'm here if you ever need me. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Bye now.